time to get some SportSense. You're gonna get some SportSense. You better get ready for SportSense. SportSense.
Welcome back. This is season 2, episode 51. We are almost to the end of season 2, and football is about to begin. Life is going to be good and have color again for people like my dad here. And if you're new here to SportSense, I'm Cooper Epps, and I assure you, I am an absolute noob. Even though we've been doing this for almost 2 years, I still am barely competent in a sports-related conversation. So I will represent you, the uneducated, unsports-educated listener, as we talk here with my dad, our sports expert, James Epps. So Dad, welcome back. How you doing?
Thanks. 51, what's that, this year? 51?
Yeah,
What?
that's of season 2. So I
cow.
think we're not quite at 100 episodes yet, but we're approaching it. I think we're in the 90s now.
Very nice. And by the way,
Yeah.
all of our listeners might not be uneducated. A lot of them could be uninterested. And that's what we're
yeah.
used to a little bit, right? Because interest, education kind of go together. Knowledge, pursuit of, have some motivation. So
You're
we
right.
hope to spur on a little bit of interest and motivation to gain a little bit more knowledge, just enough that makes you happy. But we want you all to be well-rounded, so you need a little sports. Of course, that comes with not well-rounded, probably, because I am too much sports. But
I was just quoting you to, I think, my boss the other day, just about how you and Mom always touted well-roundedness. That's what you guys were hoping we would attain by the time we graduated from your home. So anyways, I think I was more well-rounded back then, and then I lost the sports edge and maybe a couple other things after that. So,
but your work requires you to be a little less well-rounded, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, that's how work is, I guess. But by the way, apologies. Hopefully we do some AI stuff to my dad's voice and his mic sounds a little better. He had to stay late at the office. He's doing that grind set, or I don't know how you use that term. He's got that grind set, and he's working late at the office tonight. So Dad, thanks for fitting us in today.
Yeah, I'll try to speak up solid, but I know you can clean me up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll
can't
doctor
clean
you
the
up.
accent up, though. That's going to be here.
That is what it is.
It is what it is.
We don't want to change it. Okay, well, let's do a little bit of current event. You said you had something, Dad, as far as this last week, and then we'll get into our little SportSense history lesson.
Yep, that's it. There are several things out there if you're a sports person, but here's what this is big. It happens once a year. It is professional football related. Can't help it. But they had the Hall of Fame voting this past weekend. And It gets tough. Each year, I'm pretty sure I got this correct. Their main, now they do some other specialty things, but they only vote to install 5 new members of the Hall of Fame every year. Well, that's tough from a professional football standpoint.
Yeah, there's so many people. Is this coaches and players?
Yes, and owners.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So quick background on it. The reason I'm bringing it up too, because there's a couple of my all-time favorites that were elected to the Hall of Fame, and that's the wording they use: elected to the Hall of Fame. They and only so many are even brought into the voting pool. That's decided by the Hall of Fame organization. They have committees and all that sort of things. Certain names come out each year, and the ones that have been brought before get brought again. It's not like they bring you and put you up for vote and you don't get it and they boot you. You get to roll out. But there's you can only be attempts. There's only so many attempts, and then you move to a category of basically like you're the oldest of old folks. I mean, they have a special category when you get so far out a certain age, but I forgot what they call it, the historic committee, not historic. They got a committee for those people. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's very difficult. And each year, and the mega superstars and the most beloved get voted in the first. So I know this, to be eligible, you have to be through playing football for 5 full years.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remembered us talking about Phillip Rivers coming back and playing after being out
Oh,
for 4 years. Remember?
yeah.
He even played a few games last year, and they had to restart his 5-year clock.
Okay.
Our listeners might remember that. So I don't. Phillip Rivers doesn't give a flying hoot about it. I don't think about the time, right?
Yeah.
So who knows if he'll be Hall of Famer? But so 5 years out since playing and before you're eligible to be considered in the Hall.
Okay.
But anyway, real quick, this year they all have they're all amazing, right? But every one of these guys, I think, are pretty special people. I'll go backwards a little bit. The one that kind of hurts, he was a running back for San Francisco 49ers, Roger Craig. Man, he was smooth. If you ever want to watch some of his footage, he was not able to go there personally. He sent a recording, and he was very open and frank. So he's dealing with dementia.
Ooh, okay.
So early stage of onset dementia. So
Dang.
he sent that, and that was very touching. But he was elected, so he's one of the 5. Next, I'm going to go in the rank of kind of what's interesting to me is Adam Vinatieri. There's only he's the third kicker ever. Which Mike Golick Sr. today, I heard him on the radio a little bit, said that's just a travesty. And Golick is a big lineman, but he said that's ridiculous. There's not more kickers.
Oh, only the third kicker to be into the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame.
Wow. Okay. That
Interesting enough, he's the first American-born kicker.
Crazy.
And the others weren't from South America. You might think that from soccer or something. They're actually from Finland and Holland, I think. The other two.
Okay. Crazy.
All right. Pretty cool. Little side bit about Adam Vinatieri during his play days. Big known for New England Patriots. Won big games, Super Bowls, that sort of thing. And then went to Indianapolis and had a great effect on them too. He was awesome. So unbelievable. Think he's a first-time ballot. So first-time ballot means you're something super special. So anyway, he got in, and what I found interesting, at one time, I guess this is his wife, his family was living here in Wake Forest, from Wake Forest. Anyway, there were times in Christmas holidays, there's times where they were off season that he'd be found in some of these fields practicing kicking.
Okay.
I never saw him, but the word got out when he was in town. Pretty cool.
Cool.
Next, to me, one of the greatest receivers of all time, Larry Fitzgerald. I think he played all umpteen seasons, 16, whatever, with the Arizona Cardinals, Love it. I love Larry Fitzgerald. Next is probably one of my top few all-time quarterbacks for sure, but human beings, yes, Drew Brees. You've heard that name?
Oh, yeah. That's the name I do know, finally.
From New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
New Orleans. What made him extremely special, number one, how he got to New Orleans is he was in San Diego. He had a shoulder. He was supposed to get traded to Miami. Miami said, I don't think his shoulder's any good. I think he's already washed up after just 3 or 4 years. He's a little guy, 5'9", 5'10". They questioned all sorts of things, but New Orleans took a gamble on him. And then boy, did it pay off. Paid off with a Super Bowl, paid off with a great man and his family, great winning seasons with Sean Payton as the coach. Unbelievable run he had. So him being elected was awesome. Just awesome. And it's not his first time around. So this is second or third time for him. But what makes him so connected to the city of New Orleans, after he got there, he never would leave, is he was the quarterback during Katrina.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the foundation, everything he did personally, his family did, not just from that moment of the storm, but especially afterwards, it gave them hope that, there's a whole history of him and what he and his family did for them and continue to do for it still today, working for the city. He is you shouldn't put any gods before God, but he's like a god of the kind in New Orleans. So love that. Of highest integrity, family, you name it, he's got it. And the city of New Orleans, love is not a strong enough word. But the last one is the one that hurts me the most because he's a Carolina Panthers. You'll know this, Luke Kuechly.
I don't know his name, actually.
Oh, my gosh, Casey's going to die when you hear, oh, man, Casey's got his jersey. That's all we've ever worn. We are a huge Kuechly fan, Luke Kuechly.
What?
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Well, he had to retire at 28, I believe. He had so many severe injuries of the head, and he just had to stop. And it just he is the purest of pure throwback football players. And he was still emotional even this time, just that he had to walk away at his prime, in his
Yeah.
prime. And
But
boy,
he was good enough even in those years
just in that
to make
short
it to the
period
Hall
of
of
time,
Fame.
can you believe that? That is really,
Yeah.
it showed you how great he was, one of the greatest linebackers of all time ever to play in the NFL. And I believe it was
Wow.
5 seasons, maybe it was 8 seasons. I can't remember. 7 seasons.
Okay.
I had to go back. But anyway,
Wait, so going back to your point about Drew Brees, you said this was the second or third time around? Is
well,
that
several
like
times. I guess he played 91, 2000. He's probably been 25. No, he might have been on his last run. It might have been 5 times, 4
so
or 5
okay,
times.
so you mean
4
he's
times.
been up for
Right.
induction into the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame and didn't get voted in until
Right.
just now.
It might be
Okay.
4 times. 4 times 5 is 20 years. That's probably about right.
So
Anyway,
there's
there you go.
okay.
That happened this weekend. It's a neat deal. They all get the gold jackets. Somebody ever have an interest in it? It's fun watching how they're notified. It's heartbreaking the ones that don't get it, but they have
Yeah.
them in a hotel room, those that are up for the year, and somebody knocks on the door, and it's usually somebody very personal to them, personal to the organization, and they get told right there, and that's pretty cool before they have it. Anyway,
Nice.
Football Hall of Fame, cool thing. Some of my favorites right here, but especially Carolina Panthers. Luke Kuechly was near and dear to my heart, and knew Drew Brees. All right,
Cool.
that's current. There's a
Okay.
bunch of negative current stuff, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it.
Sure. So, Dad,
Yes.
for our third history lesson in a row as we wrap up this season, you have a very special guy. I just did some light Googling after you told me who you wanted to talk about, but I really still don't know much. So, honestly, just take it away, do a little story time. Tell us about who this special guy is in the sports lore.
Yeah. So we've done a baseball player. We've done a football player. So we're trying to round out right now. We've got a NBA, college, and whatever basketball player. But what makes it special to me is because I watched him from the moment he started in his collegiate career, because it was right here in North Carolina. And I'll talk about the team in a minute. So his name is, I'm going to tell you his real name first before I tell you the nickname. Tyrone Curtis Bogues. That's his full name.
Cool.
His nickname was given to him at age 12, and that is Muggsy. Muggsy
Awesome.
Bogues. And you could say Tyrone Curtis Bogues all day long in the whole basketball world. Very few people are going to know who you were talking about. He is only known as Muggsy Bogues. All right, Muggsy Bogues. He was the shortest NBA player in NBA history. Right there
Wow.
is pretty amazing. Just to make it to the NBA. So let's talk about him a little bit. So that's where he got to. So let's go real quick.
Let's look up his height.
Height is 5'3", and the 3 is a stretch. I think. I really do. 5'3". So yeah, we got that in there. And we're going to work backwards. He played 14 unbelievable seasons in the NBA. So it wasn't like a gimmick or let's say show for a year or two. Let's do this. 14 years.
Wow.
The average NBA player probably only plays 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5 range. All right. So he grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. Very, very dangerous, rough neighborhood. At the age of 12, his father was incarcerated, so was sent to jail, and so he lost his father. His mother, raised him, and I forget how many siblings, but a number of siblings, and just very, very difficult childhood. Like a lot of kids like this who have desires and a heart that burns and have some athleticism, athletics was where he was wanting to, make his mark. Well, you would think soccer, baseball, something other than basketball. Basketball is what he loved. And he got his nickname Muggsy because at the age of 12, playing on the just the public courts, wherever it might be around Baltimore and that his neighborhood and schools and such, he was so fierce and tenacious and such a bother at stealing and interrupting everyone's dribble that they said when he got through covering you, you felt like you've been mugged. Again, kind of in their vernacular, right? The area, they're rough, there's muggings, there's danger. And so Muggsy, or being mugged by him, was became his nickname. And it stuck from age 12 on.
Wow.
and then became his name. It just became his name.
Such a cool nickname, yeah.
So pretty cool. So his ability to steal the ball, his ability to interrupt passes. I mean, he would wear the offensive players out. You probably never heard of this, but there's a famous high school in Baltimore called Dunbar High School. And so this was go back and look when he played in the college. That's the early 90s, right? I think somewhere. But I mean, so I grew up watching. I mean, I was in my early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, growing up.
Yeah.
Well, growing up 30s, watching him play in the ACC. But so he played for Dunbar High School, and I don't want to bore everybody, but there's several names. But his senior season, and they had one of the most famous high school coaches ever. They went 31-0 and won the state championship, right? So they were unbelievable, undefeated, won it all. On his team, there were at least 4 or 5 other future NBA players. So that didn't just happen from the neighborhood. Dunbar and part of Maryland, you could bring players to them even back then.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? You could kind of recruit you. They weren't limited to their local neighborhood. They were able. So Dunbar became one of the top high schools forever back in the day. It had always a lot of NBA talent, almost huge talent. But think about that. Still breaking into high school, being that little, even in high school, and being so good that he started and then was part of that great team.
Yeah, so he wasn't even a big fish in a little pond. He was playing with top talent, even
big pond. They travel all over. Dunbar High School travel all over the country too to play top teams, top talent. Okay. So anyway, he was offered scholarship at several schools, but not that many. But Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, offered him scholarship, and he went on to have an unbelievable career, finishing as the all-time assist leader and all-time steals leader at Wake Forest, and they retired his jersey.
Cool.
All 5'3" of them. If that was the end of the story, right? That would be beyond remarkable.
That's like Rudy, right? A lot of people saying Rudy. He made it into college football, and that was a big deal for a little.
Yeah, just to even get on a walk on all that. But this was a great talent. He's just little. Because his whole style. You just have to see his play. Whoever listens to this, I want you to go look at some before I talk about his pro tenure. Go look at video clips against Michael Jordan, against oh my gosh, Irvin Magic Johnson, all the great players. Those are his peers. So some of the greatest players ever. Go look at him playing them. It's hilarious until. You ought to hear
pictures.
You'll hear Jordan talk about him.
The way Michael Jordan is holding the ball above his head, it's almost like how you hold a candy above a kid's head. Like,
butt, get it. I know that picture. He's down with his hand on his butt, and his head's about his weight, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, by the way. So he played. Another reason near and dear. He ended up going to the Bullets at the time. They called it Washington Bullets. They traded him pretty quick to the Hornets. So we had him for 10 years. He was so beloved in our state, the Charlotte Hornets. But when he was with the Bullets, interesting enough, he played with the tallest player in the NBA at the time, and ever, I think, still 7'7" Monty Bol, Manute Bol, not Monty, Manute Bol, 7'7". So they always had these pictures of 7. He raises, and it was just look up that Bol is the last name, Bol.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. His head, Muggsy's head, goes just above that guy's waist. He's barely half his height. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they were quite the pair, right? That was an interesting pair on the team. But anyway, he had a tremendous season. He was beloved. He was feared. A lot of the best players hated when he guarded. Hated it. Because he's so low to the ground. His speed was unbelievable. And I think he dunked in an NBA game. He could dunk. Not great, but he could. But his speed, he's so low to the ground. So his whole point was his methodology, if you will, what he committed to early on. He'd get right up under them. So he basically take away their dribbling area, circumference of dribbling, because he is right under them. And he would move so quick to left, to right, to front. They could never keep as truly like a bee or a gnat or something so fast. They could not figure out where. So they hated dribbling. That's why you saw Jordan, that one picture, so famous. Because when Bogues would run up on them, a lot of times they pull the ball up and just put it above his head and have to pass it or shoot over him. But they would not dribble around them. They got tired of being embarrassed because he would strip them so fast, and then the speed at which he could take a steal and get down court and lay it in was unbelievable. They did.
Cool.
Think with his short legs, he couldn't be that fast, but he's so fast. So I mean, I guess he is to me, one of the top few of the world of sports ever. Greatest poster men, being on a poster of somebody who overcame what everybody told him he could, and that was a physical limitation that he had no control over. 5'3", couldn't control that. But he goes on and plays 14 years. He
and he leaned he leaned into his strengths, it sounds like instead of because he didn't have the same physical attributes that were typical of NBA players, he found a way in because there was something that he could still offer with his style. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just think it's so cool that you can take the ingredients you have and you can still give something to the world, no matter who you are or what you have.
A little guy, he's really strong, but he's so quick of hands, quick of feet. So he'd steal the dribble, but the other greatness he had, he could shoot the passing lane. So he kind of could get a feel where they were going to fire the ball. And if they didn't throw it high enough, he'd strip the pass or anticipate the pass and shoot the gap and then be gone for a layup. And here are the evidence. Here's the evidence. He played 889 games, which is amazing. He averaged 7.7 points a game, which is pretty remarkable because he wasn't a scorer. But 7.6 assists a game, which is crazy. 1.5 steals a game. That's huge. It might not sound that, but it is for a game. And this is the one I put as crazy. He averaged 2.6 rebounds a game. Okay. Now that's sheer hustle. That means a ball banks off the rim and he just way off the rim and he just beats them to it and takes off. So anyway, I just love his, and lastly, his statistically, I don't think this is, man, it's got to be one of the best in the history of the NBA. He averaged 4.7 assists to only 1 turnover. So basically 5 to 1. Okay. 5 to 1 assists, which is you give the ball to someone, they score. And then turnover, you make an error and you turn the ball over. Well, 5 to 1 is a crazy ratio. That means you could have 10 assists in the game and only 2 turnovers. I mean, that is low. Lastly, he became pop culture hero almost. He was in, you're going to appreciate this. This is when you were little. Let's see, what year? You were only 2 years old, but I know you're aware of it because they made a remake like.
Space Jam?
And Space Jam.
Oh,
1996,
wow.
The original grouping of NBA stars, including Jordan and others.
No way.
He was in Space Jam. And he became, everybody, the world who didn't know him in basketball fell in love with him at Space Jam. The kids did. And you can imagine why the kids loved him, especially when he did public appearances. He was the same size as a lot of the kids, height-wise. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you'd like that. He did a few other things that on TV and did all this crazy stuff. Last was a couple things. He's just been a great guy, a great family guy. He has the Muggsy Bogues Family Foundation, which is a nonprofit. Not going to surprise you, but they try to help teach certain students, especially ones that are at risk, vocational skill sets, educational. They feed families. He actually mentors, and his team mentors at-risk youth. And he coaches himself, younger kids in basketball, and he's still to this day, he's an ambassador for the Charlotte Hornets in the community.
Cool.
So
I feel like that's the most grit he's shown in his whole story. Even us locals have a hard time sticking with the Charlotte Hornets. So obviously he played a lot of his career there, but man, that's cool. That's loyalty right there.
Yeah. Well, that's Muggsy Bogues, and I tell you, you've got to see some footage, or you'll never appreciate them. You got to see footage of them.
Okay, I'll dig up some clips, and we'll do a good Instagram reel this week. That's awesome. Well, short and sweet, just like Muggsy Bogues, I guess, is our episode tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. But It's really cool. I'm sure there's a lot more layers to his story. Are you skipping on me at all, or?
Well, no, there are, and I didn't want to go too deep, but at Wake Forest University, where I saw him all the time was ACC. So there's a lot of frustration I had with him when he played NC State because it seemed like he always had a big number, always stripping the ball, always stealing it. I mean, he I mean, I just still can't believe it, but he made them really good. And then there are other players that wanted to come play with him, so they were able to improve their recruiting. He really had a great impact on Wake Forest University. And
Cool.
again, within the ACC, he was feared. I mean, it's hard to say that about such a small player, but he was feared within the ACC. So I got to see him for all those years playing college ball up close and personal. He has a big grin. I mean, everybody says he's got an electric personality, not like Magic Johnson, where he's just effervescent. He just had a big smile. He's happy, and it was very deceiving because when he got on the court, he still would smile at you after he stripped you or did whatever. The funny thing watching him play was seeing other players complain that he fouled them. And you look at a lot of the refs would literally look at the big guy and go, stuff like that. Raise your hand, like, you kidding me, right?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. He did, even if he fouled you, it probably only makes it a little bit fair for him.
Yeah.
So I think from a personal note, I had so many fond and terrible memories, but I used to love when he wasn't playing state. I used to love watching him play other teams and just, I don't know, it was a thing of beauty. Oh, and watching him all those years too. I watched him some in the pro, of course, with Charlotte, but I didn't watch that much of their games. But in the college, I saw a ton of them. His motor, you ever heard him? Everybody talking about sports, is their motor.
Just like, I don't know, just stamina, I guess, or
their level of energy and their stamina. But his motor was unbelievable. So his conditioning, like he always said, had to be better than everybody else on the floor. He had to be able to basically run in college for 40 straight minutes, pros 48 minutes. He very rarely got taken out, for rest. His motor was unmatched. Wow. He could go. I mean, of course, back then they called him the Energizer Bunny and all this crazy stuff. But his motor, it's just hard. It's hard to believe. I mean, and he had to maintain that base. Now think about him. You're a great player. Jordan or one of these other guys had different skill sets, or even Steph Curry, who could adjust and was a distance shooter, could play so long. He didn't have that luxury, so he had to keep up for 14 years. That same motor, the same skill set of stripping and stealing and defending. And I mean, he couldn't slow down. He couldn't. I mean, he could shoot okay, but you still can't give any shots off when you're that little, right? Yeah. I mean, you just not. So that made him more remarkable to me that he could do that for 14 years. And I mean, he might have slowed down a little bit in that 14th year. I don't know, but oh my gosh, through the bulk of his career, he had that same motor, and he got smarter. So he had that combination. Anyway, that's a plenty.
So could there be a Muggsy Bogues today in the NBA? Do you think? Like, meaning, could the strengths that he offered, even as is his height, could that work in today's game?
It'd be so, you haven't happened since. NC State had the next version of Muggsy Bogues, but he was built very different. He's much skinny. It's called Spud Webb. Do you remember us there?
That Webb, name rings a bell, yeah.
You're younger, but Spud Webb, I can't remember, see if he made it to the NBA or not, but he was really good, and he could jump, man. He could dunk. That's what I forgot to tell you. Muggsy Bogues, even all that. Do you know what number he was drafted in the NBA?
No. Yeah, no.
I meant to tell you that. That just hit me. I remember that. He was the number 12th draft pick in the whole NBA.
That's pretty high. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So
that's really cool.
So whoever, the Bullets who identified him, man, they were right. 14 years later, he was highly impactful. So that's so pretty cool to be drafted. So it wasn't like somebody took a flyer on him in the second, third, fourth round. Yeah. He was identified early on.
Cool. To answer your question about Spud Webb, he was a professional basketball player, 5'7", so another one of our short kings.
Yeah.
And
the NBA or overseas?
Yeah, he played in the NBA from 1985 to 98. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So he had a lot longer career. I miss that. I don't think he started or played as much as he did, but Yeah. So that was pretty cool. The original short player was Monty Towle for NC State in 1974. Look up Monty, Monty,
Oh
Towle,
yeah.
Towe. Now
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
7'4" Tommy Burleson, who was our center. And they were on Sports Illustrated with Tommy Burleson being tall. Monty Towle, maybe he was 5'5", 5'6". You have to look out and see how
Oh, and
tall.
he was part of NC State winning the championship in
1974
1974.
National Championship.
Wow.
So you shouldn't get me started. Now you just I'm trying to go by my script, so I wouldn't go on and on.
No, I mean, we're hitting. So, you know what's funny, Dad, is I have a friend who he's been really, really wanting to do a ad campaign for Short Kings. He just thinks it'd be really fun to celebrate basically people who have excelled in athletics despite being short. And so I think he'll love this episode.
I just given them 3 basketball players
Yeah.
that are unbelievable that were short.
So,
short.
well, you didn't answer my question. Do you think there still could be someone who's 5'3"?
Yes, I do
that
think.
could make it in the NBA
5'3".
today?
Yeah, 5'3" is tough. But, well, he did it, so it could be replicated. I don't know if you got to find it's a different era. To me, here's one of the problems when I mean a different era of kids. I think it would have to be somebody like him that came from a really rough area, who had very little to hope for, and just had a burning passion. Because even if they're short and they were playing really good and they get caught up in that, the travel ball and all that stuff and pampered a little bit early on, I don't think they can pay the price that he paid.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
he was tough. He had grit.
He had grit, but
kids don't have that anymore.
Well, there's there some, but I'm saying that limited physical ability or size, his workout regimen from the time he was little was crazy. And he played all he did was play basketball. And he was just, he's like, if you look at his build, he got some muscle everywhere. He just muscle.
Yeah, he looks bulky.
Goes so fast. He could sprint so quickly. His speed, his thighs were huge. If you look at the size of his thighs in terms of his body, you saw how powerful his legs were. And so he was strong. So he would post up. He'd get on the defensive side. The guy would be huge, but he wouldn't let him back him down. He was strong enough. He could keep pushing back. That they had a very difficult time backing down. Anyway,
I wonder if just short kids today are just like, hey, I'm not going to make it in the NBA. I'm just going to play Fortnite. I don't know.
It's how many millions to one they're right.
Yeah, right. Not.
But I will never say never. But it's been a long time since he's done it. So we haven't seen anybody else. But there's been some smaller players for sure that have done remarkable. But nobody.
Jimmer Fredette was smaller, right? And he look
at him. He's 6'1", 6'2".
That's what I feel like everybody would say about him. Jimmer Fredette.
He was over 6 feet.
If he's over 6 feet, I'd be shocked.
No, he is.
Okay, Google says his height is 6'2". You're right. I swear everybody talked about how short he was, and that's why he didn't make it in the NBA.
He's small. He was smaller for some of the modern day NBA guards. He's not.
Huh.
I mean, But probably Steph Curry is one of the more smaller players who's been insane. He's slight in build and not that tall. So what is he? 5'11"?
He's 6'2". 6'2".
So he's taller too. Yeah, I thought he was actually over 6 feet, which I still don't believe that. I've seen him play in person. I don't think he's over. I don't think he's 6'2".
6'2" is a stretch. But yeah, it's still, it's crazy because 6'2" is still, it's so funny. It's still considered short or small when you're up against 7 foot people all the time in the NBA.
Well, even guards who are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", those are guards you're playing against. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so
to answer your question, yes, I think it's possible. Do I think it's probable? No.
Hey, this is my call for anybody out there. If you're short and you love basketball or anything, chase the dream, okay? We need another Muggsy Bogues. We need somebody.
I say, study the life and playing times of Muggsy Bogues. He did write a book. He's got a book out there somewhere, a memoir, My Life from a Kid in the Projects to the Godfather of Small Ball.
Okay. Well, I might have to read that. Because look, I was just about to say, I think I'd watch basketball in a heartbeat if there was another Muggsy Bogues out there for me to watch, because he just sounds awesome. And everybody loves an underdog and the story of defying the odds. That's what we're out to see. I'm sick of LeBron James and his, what, I don't know, nearly 7 foot something, big
He's
muscles
6'9",
everywhere.
and
Like-
about 260. Yeah.
Yeah, constantly having, all these medical experts nurture his body every moment he's not playing, putting him on ice during the night when he goes to sleep. I don't need these science experiments. I want to see grit. I want to see I want to
really
see
should-
people who believe.
You shouldn't have bashed LeBron James. He has done a great job. He's a physical specimen. He is remarkable. You're making me laugh with that one. But I get your point, and I'm surprised you felt passionate at all about it.
It took a whole episode, but I'm there now, and I think I
Round
want to go
you up.
watch. I think I want to go watch Rudy now. Although Rudy, we need a Muggsy Bogues movie because Rudy just made it to college. Muggsy
But
Bogues made it 14 years.
He
in
only
the
got on
NBA.
the field one time for one play.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
I
don't go
forgot about
to
that.
Rudy, even though I love him and love the movie.
I forgot
Not
about
a
that.
fair comparison. Poor
Was
Muggsy
Ru-
he'd be dying if he heard this when we compared him to Rudy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is Muggsy's way cooler. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Watch,
cool.
Everybody watch a few clips of his live
Yeah.
footage of what he did.
That's the homework this week. So
Yep.
I'll put some clips together. But
That'd be great.
that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go help with the baby, but
I'm gonna go back to work.
okay. Thanks for taking the time, and if you're listening, we appreciate you. We'd love if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on, and send this to your friends if you know any short kings that need some inspiration today.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
See you, Dad. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
SportSense.